Hi, today is a happy day and a special review because Genaray has just sent me this light here, which adds to my small family of Genaray line of products here. This is the Genaray Baton 20-inch, which in French, Baton stands for lipstick, which is why they named this light here, as it looks like a lipstick or something like that. So I'm going to be doing a quick unboxing here. So what you expect to find when you buy this light here, you have the light itself, and you have the power cord. And this is the DC adapter that connects right here into the 4-pin XLR cable. You also have your DMX cables, and this is also an extension. And comes also with the magnets that you can mount on the back of the light, which you can put on a refrigerator or any metallic surface. Now the battery is an optional thing to keep the cost down. Some people opt to or not to buy the battery. And if you do want to buy the battery, I highly recommend, because this is mainly designed to be a studio light in which you use in parallel with a bunch of lights controlling by the DMX. So you have a full portability. You can take this outdoors anywhere you want as long as you get the battery, in which comes with the power cord and the DC adapter, which you charge the battery right here. So this light comes with a padded case with two separate compartments here. The main one, of course, where the light goes, and the other compartment here is where you put all the accessories. And inside the main pocket, you're gonna also find a cylindrical case here, which is also padded and is also protected inside. The same material that you see outside is the same material that's inside. And the light comes shipped already packed like this. So all you gotta do is slide this out. And when I take the light out of here, this case here comes with the two permanently attached Velcros. So all you gotta do is skip this in here, which also helps you not losing the thing or nobody stepping on it or whatever. So I keep it this way. So to take the light out, I just bend the case a little bit and take it out like that and put it back in and close the case, you know, just like that. Put it here and close the case, and that's pretty much it. So I keep this permanently attached in here. And there's all the zipper here. You have all the space to put all your cables, all your chargers and everything. Now the battery I prefer to put inside the case. So when you purchase this battery, again, all there is in the box is the actual power cord and the charger and the battery itself, nothing else. I wish they include a little sleeve here, because this is such a beautiful finish, and I'm not the kind of person that likes to get the gear scratched up, especially on the first day or first week. I don't want to have the cables rubbing around here. So I found this little case sleeve or whatever somewhere there with my mini tripod. I don't need the case for that. So I just put the battery here, right? And the light is already protected with this cylindrical tube here, which is fully padded. The bag is padded, and there's plenty of space to put the battery in the same compartment. And then you close it down. And then the battery is already on the bottom, so you can carry like this, no problem. So I don't want to put the battery on the side compartment because it's already packed with everything, especially that I have the optional battery here, so this thing is to capacity here. I'm just being picky because there's a lot of people like me out there that they don't want to scratch their stuff. And it also comes with this Arca Swiss mount here, which allows you to place the light anywhere you want, up and down, left and right. So let me remove this real quick here. So the way you mount this, it comes off like that. So you don't have to start sliding this all the way from the top or bottom to choose the area that you want. Anywhere that you want to install this, all you gotta do is the first end here, drop it down, and then it fits exactly with enough room, and then you tighten it down, and there you go. So anywhere you want to put, this is slightly larger than the light, so you mount one ray of the light here, and then drop the light here, and then tighten it down. So this is the mount, which you can actually move everywhere, any position you want with the light. So since there are some people that complain about things made of plastic here and they start tapping and everything, so okay, they made this whole thing made of metal, but you can't have a metal thing with the weight of a plastic item. So let's weigh this unit here. In pounds is about 1 pound and 13 ounces. In kilograms is 840 grams. Let's add the battery here. you're looking at 3 pounds and 4 ounces. Kilograms, 1.5 kilos. The battery itself is 645 grams, and an Imperial is 1 pound, 0.68 ounces. The ice light here is everything plastic, the only thing metal. You have the ends here and this ring here, so everything else is plastic. And weighing the unit, weighs about 1 pound and 3 ounces in kilograms. 535 grams. So the battery alone is 645 grams, or 1 pound, 0.68 ounces. So these lights are designed for studio applications, especially made of metal, to attach several lights in parallel using the DMX controller, in which you control everything through the DMX. That's why they offer the optional battery in case you want to buy, which I highly recommend, because you're gonna transform this light into a ice light sort of thing. What you gotta do is press against your stomach. And there you go, you have the light on. So there you go. So if you're used to this here, you might want to hold this with both hands, especially if you hold this for more than a minute or two, and then you'll have no problem. With one hand, you can get a little tired with this here. But again, this is a studio light that they have the option to make this a outdoor or a field light, just adding this battery here. And here's the back of the unit. They designed this thing to be a run-and-gun tool for a wedding cinematographer, especially when you're doing a bridal prep. There's no time to be messing with pressing and hold stuff. And so they created this little preset little banks here, which you can quickly adjust the brightness and the color temperature. So everything responds very quickly. To turn on the unit, there's no need to press and hold the power button. Just tap on the thing, everything comes on. The light right now is at 10% at 5600 Kelvin. To adjust the brightness of the light, you can do the usual way by either tapping or pressing and hold. It goes from 10% all the way to 100. And you go all the way back there. Also notice that you are changing this at 1% increments. Everybody complains when a light goes from 5 to 10% jumps. So they listen to our requests, and then you can change by 1 and 1% to finally tune your light. And the same exact thing you can do for the Kelvin degrees in 100% increments. The reason why there's no blue LED indicators here is because this light was at 25%, and as you can see, you can go to 10%. You have to go here, and then there you go, 10%. Okay? So to adjust the brightness, you can either press and hold or tap, or you can immediately go from this to 100%, go back to 25%. Quickly tapping this button here, you are at 10%, so you can go to 25, 100, 50, 75, 25 again. Same thing with the color temperature. So here you have the color set to 5600 Kelvin. When the bride is near the window, you can do a little hair light or whatever. Once she walks out of the window, go to a room near the lamp that's 3200 Kelvin. Instead of adjusting manually, you can just jump to 3200 or 2800 for the extra warm shots. When the sun is down, things get a little cool, so you can actually go all the way to 6500. If none of this do for you, all you gotta do is press the, let me go back to 5600. You can actually press the mode button once, which you can see is gonna flash. You can actually tune in 100 Kelvin increments. So if you are here at 3200, it's a little bit too warm, you can actually adjust here, 3000, 3100, whatever. And in between the daylight and tungsten, 41 Kelvin. The bride goes back to the window, 5600. Then when it's time for tungsten light only, you quickly access here. And so this is great. You can actually quickly go 100% and daylight, or 25% with the tungsten, you know. Now to access the DMX, again, you go back to the mode, press it once, you have your Kelvin flashing. Press it once again, it goes from 001 all the way to 512. You can go back here, so you can choose any number, you can press and hold. So here are the magnets here, which goes on the back of the light here and there. I made a little modification here. Maybe Genaray will improve this a little bit. Instead of having these threads here and these nuts scratching the finish of the light, I just use a little 1/4-inch hole here with the washer and a double-sided tape, so it gives you more confidence to screw in very tight without damaging anything. You don't need to over tighten, just a little bit tighter than usual, which will screw right here very quickly. And I also made modifications here as well. I installed a very thin, this is only 2 mm thin rubber feet, which does not interfere with the magnetic power, because if you put anything taller than this, don't do it because the light will fall. This is just a little tip for Genaray to maybe improve this by including some kind of a rubber feet here on the bottom with the same shape and size of this. So the only thing that you can use, I bought this at Home Depot. This is the brand, it's a Soft Touch, and as you can see, everything is extremely thin, right? And when you put this on a glass surface, the light is not going anywhere. You can tap on a little bit, it's not moving, which is great. So hope Genaray will improve this a little bit, because we need this rubber feet, because some surfaces, they are delicate, and when you pull the light away, the last grip here always will tend to kind of leave a scratch somewhere. So not anymore. Now here's something that is extremely convenient, and you're gonna really like and appreciate this. If you decide to change the intensity of the light or the color temperature, it's gonna remember what you did. So we are 16%, 3400 Kelvin. Turn off the light. Even if you disconnect the battery, even if you disconnect the DC power supply, it doesn't matter. It will remember the last setting that you did. Let's say now you're gonna have 34 and 6500 Kelvin. Turn it off, turn it back on, there it is. So this battery is an additional purchase, but I highly recommend if you want to have this light hands-free. Every time you see the DC barrel plug facing this way, this is actually the front of the light. So you're gonna be having to align this here. Do not force it. Press it down a little bit, preferably near your stomach. Keep pressing it down, thread it first here, and then it will quickly finish threading. Don't force anything, don't force the threads, don't force connecting the light to either the battery or the DC supply. Okay, this should actually unscrew very easily. So as for the battery life, when I received this from the factory, when I opened the box, I found it was pre-charged to about 80–85%, which you can firmly press on this here to determine how much juice you have left. And then I waited until the light completely depleted. The light was set to 100%. And my second charge, when I really used the battery in full at 100%, I still left the light at 100%, and this time I got 2 hours and 15 minutes of battery time with this. And the bottom of the battery comes with a 1/4 20-inch thread, which you can easily mount vertically. I would not recommend to mount horizontally, because that's going to be a lot of stress due to the weight of the light. So if you want to mount through the battery here, I would recommend mounting only vertically. So if you plan to mount this light horizontally on a boom stand or a C-stand, I would highly recommend that you use the included Arca switch stand, which you can actually slide this whole thing across the bar. And the center of gravity is around here when using this battery. Now, one thing that I really like about this design here is that you don't have to start mounting all the way from the bottom to slide up and down. As long as you have this all the way out, you have enough clearance to mount anywhere. So you can actually mount from here, and then there you go. If you decide to mount it up, you can do the same exact way, start from here, or you can start from there. When you use the battery, you have to mount it here for the center of gravity. Again, if it doesn't fit, just make sure this is all the way out. Put it one side first, and then let the other side go in. Same exact way here. Put this one first, and then the other edge will go here. And then any C-stand with a 5/8 stud, you can mount it here, secure in place. And then from here, you adjust the angle that you want. To remove that, unscrew this, and this thing is out. Again, you can mount anywhere. You don't have to slide the whole thing again to determine the location. So with this loose, you can actually move this in any direction. So you can actually do this, or move it up, and leave it anywhere you want. Tighten very firmly. To use the included DC adapter, you see there's a little groove here. Insert matching that groove right there. Don't force anything. You don't want to break the pins. It should go in very easily. And to take it out, you just remove like this. To access the DMX jacks here, you need to remove these little spongy things here. So if you want to try to remove this way, there's not enough room to grasp it. At least I bite my nails, so I can't do that. If that's your case too, all you gotta do is slide your thumb very close against the unit, slide it like this, it should come off very easily. So here's the DMX cable, and also comes with an extension. The unit comes with the two Velcros here. I'm not sure what that is because the manual doesn't say anything about it, so I'm using the big one to wrap all the cables together when I put it away on the case there. And this little one here I'm using to individually wrap the power cable, and then I wrap everything on this cable here. So I don't know exactly what that's for. So I have this laying around here. This is a ice light, very popular light, but this is the version 1. I'm going to be comparing the light intensity between the two. I'm going to be projecting this light on over there and this light over here and see how they compare with each other as far as brightness and the color that's being projected on the screen. They should match pretty close. Turn on the ice light here. Make sure it's at 100%, because this light we have to keep pressing the arrow up. There you go, maximum power. Now I'll turn this guy on here. They're both at 100%. This is set to 5600, so I'm gonna set the mode to exactly 5500. So it's 5500 Kelvin here and 5500 Kelvin right here. They're both at 100%. I'm just running a little brightness test here. I'm using something very simplistic, just using the zebra patterns of my C100 Mark II, just for a slight comparison of brightness, which I can tell this is slightly brighter because once it's longer. So compared to an ice light, I think the colors, they look pretty much the same, about 99%. But other than that, it's a very close match, especially if you want to use them both together towards each other like this, like let's mix lights a little bit. So as you can see, it should look pretty good if you want to work with both, if you happen to own the ice light already. I think that's all we need to compare. No need to go crazy here. And now I'm gonna test the color accuracy of the tungsten. Let me turn this light off here. And I'm gonna turn this right here. 3200 Kelvin. So now I'm gonna be adjusting the white balance here to 3200 Kelvin. So it looks pretty good to me. So here's something different with this light here, because every single bicolor LED light that I tried before, every time besides daylight only or tungsten only, when you change to 4200 degrees Kelvin, which is going to cause both the tungsten and the daylight LED to turn on, usually the brightest spot of the light, the brightest intensity is at 4200. When you switch to tungsten only or daylight, right, they get a little weaker. So let's play with this a little bit. I'm going to start the light with 6500 Kelvin, and I'm going to paste this light meter all the way close to the projector wall here. I'm having a reading at 4.4. Now I'm going to be changing to 5600, 4.4. 4300 Kelvin, that's supposed to be a whole stop brighter when it's not. And now 3200, 4.3, it's pretty much the same reading. And 3200. Check that out. See, everything is at 4.2, 4.3, it's not like 5.6 or 5 or F8, you know. So this is actually quite interesting. It doesn't matter what color temperature you set to, 5600 or 6500 or, you know, because at 4300 it's supposed to be like at least a whole stop or at least a half a stop brighter when it's not. Now again, talking about the battery life here, at 100% without pressing buttons, without constantly shutting it down and turning it back on, the time was 2 hours and 15 minutes. I'm not sure how long that will be if you press a lot of buttons here, if you turn it off and turn it back on here, keep changing all kinds of settings. If you leave it 100% and not turning it off, at this battery, at least my copy, I'm getting 2 hours and 15 minutes. Most people will buy the battery, but I wish I could actually put this in a case here without having to attach and detach this a whole lot, because I don't want to wear this out. So I wish I could put the light here, back, right? And I think this case is about, I don't know, 5 inches shy on the size. So I wish they made a longer case, keeping in mind that people will buy the battery and not wanting to store the battery separated from the light. Because if I am on a quick run and gun thing, all I gotta do is take off the light, assemble like this, and shoot it. I mean, of course, you can carry with a zipper partially open, but I don't want to do that. I wish the whole thing closed like that. And of course, it's a little bit heavy because, again, it's made of metal. You can't have a feather light weight with something that's 100%, 95% metal. Keep that in mind. You want metal, you gotta deal with the weight. Other than that, I love the light. And that's pretty much it for my review. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I respond to all my comments. This is very important to me to help the channel grow. Okay, so thank you again very much for watching the video. Have a good day or a good night. Thank you.